In between all of our safety and summer upgrades seen in our last video, we took off the Finslet and added copper coat. In this video, we're going to show you how it all went down and how it affected our overall sailing.
Finslet is an award-winning, long-lasting, eco-friendly, velvety adhesive film used as antifoul based out of the Netherlands. The spiny fabric is designed to keep living organisms from growing on it. Even though it was relatively new to the cruising sailboat sector, we were still eager to move forward. Unfortunately, we don't have any videos of the bi-weekly maintenance because that was the worst part. And the earlier footage coming up is a bit grainy, but we think you will still be able to get a pretty good idea of things anyway.
If you want to know more on why we chose Finslet, the maintenance, and the complications we faced, the full scoop is on our website at svcodyssey.com or click the link in the description below. Everything you'll need to know is there.
Okay, let's get down to it. We splashed on June 21st, 2018 in La Rochelle, France.
4 weeks later.
On July 26, just 4 weeks later, we had to haul out after realizing our line cutters were never installed. We were shocked at what we found. Look at all this growth. Plus, we were having some autopilot issues on our test sails. We quickly realized we needed to cut out the Finslet above the rudder. Turns out this friction was causing the autopilot to be unable to respond. We later attributed other autopilot issues to the Finslet as well.
It doesn't look like it's touching. This is good.
Voilà.
J'ai regardé la vis,
donc là c'est une vis de
No, this
5.5,
is
il faut
not
mettre
good.
une vis de
Yeah.
6.3, j'en avais pas.
And we set to power washing. As you can see, really trying to maintain the right angle here. Luckily, a neighboring business took pity on us and lent us their professional power washer. Otherwise, we'd likely still be in France working on it with this little guy. Even with the help of our badass besties on Double Shot 2, it still took us all day and some of the next.
So here's just a random pile of the clippings here. And this was a lot of work. I'm not sure if you want to identify it. There are definitely a couple of different types of creatures. Here's some of the creatures here on the keel. These are loaded, they're like gum. And then the other stuff just sort of hangs here, puts its little roots in. Like, okay, I'm gonna stick around here. I'll show you what it. And you just kind of like weed it. Anyways.
Finslet is advertised that nothing grows on it. Nothing. Maximum a quick once-over for slime, if needed. So we called up Rick, the owner of Finslet, to voice our concerns. Ahem. After that conversation and subsequent ghosting, we decided to make our final decision on whether to keep Finslet or not after we haul out again in England next month for some ongoing line cutter issues. So August 16th, we sailed our unhappy asses to the beautiful town of Swanwick, England. A couple weeks later, it wasn't looking good.
If you can see the foul growing here on the bottom of the boat, this product's not supposed to grow anything. Mussels, nothing. And I gotta tell you, it just can't help itself.
Since the water was freezing, we continued the waterline scrubs as far as we could reach below the water's surface.
6 weeks later.
We haul out September 6th at Saxon Wharf. A little side note for a guest star. You might know this guy from sailing SV Cordelia. Yep, Steve! We knew him way back when, before him and his wife Annette started living the dream and became YouTube stars. So cool.
Back to our regular scheduled program.
Gotta say, we were very disappointed to see the same growth. Even though it wasn't as long, we could tell exactly where this was going. So we scrubbed her down again. We did get bonus points for the tear from the lift, though. Cha-ching! and we patched the tear with a replacement piece. It's been 6 weeks since our last haul out. The growth wasn't as bad, but it was winter in England. So somewhat hopeful, we made the only sensible choice. Head back in the water and see what happens and deal with it.
Fast forward to Antalya, Turkey.
2.5 years later.
Okay, that's it. We finally had enough of that BS. So in between our safety and summer upgrades and awesome trip to southeast Turkey, we said goodbye Finsulet and hello to Coppercoat. Looking for more on what happened? Our honest opinion, pros and cons, it's all in our blog post at svcodyssey.com. Let me show you our final Finsulet masterpiece.
It's like artwork. It's a masterpiece. No, actually it's not. It happens to be the bottom of our boat. Nothing's supposed to grow here at all.
We had no clue that the work we were about to start would end up taking 3 months to complete. When it came time to take it off, it came off in little teeny pieces. Then we had to figure out how to remove all the glue. Two months later, we finally got the rest of the glue off. Now that our holes are bare, we have to put a water barrier in place. We went with Gel Shield 200. It's a 2-part epoxy.
How you doing, Em?
All right.
How's your
hang of this?
How's your technique?
Oh, it's getting much better.
Is it?
Yeah. Look at these blocks, solid blocks. Boom.
Yeah, by the time we get to the Coppercoat, we'll be experts, huh?
Oh, yeah, buddy.
And I try my hand at rolling Gel Shield. We ended up installing 5 coats of Gel Shield, altering green and gray.
You're gonna
Here.
complain?
Here, see? I did a lot of touch-ups along the way, but here. You see how there's green there?
Yeah.
So you gotta go like up over it.
Okay.
Like, here's good.
Uh-oh. What'd you do, Emily?
I got it on the boat.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, trouble.
No problem.
We got the doctor. Doctor's in the house. It's Aaron.
Boss man.
It's okay now?
Yes. He saved me.
Okay.
Every day we take a time out to enjoy some Turkish tea. 5 days later, we complete the Gel Shield and begin the Coppercoat.
Oh, okay, good.
Getting our first mixture done. There's Aaron. The whole team's here. We are getting ready to put our first bit of Coppercoat onto the boat. Big brother. There's Big Brother. Merhaba.
With our team ready to go, we have one chance to do it right. There's a lot of different opinions on how to do Coppercoat, and a lot of information conflicts with other information you already have. Our recommendation is to trust the manufacturer and make sure to read the instructions carefully. We are just finishing up here on 3. Emily is working hard. The bottom's starting to look like copper here. Just finishing number 3. We're about to have a catastrophe here. We're gonna have to consult the manufacturer.
Take off this here because
Oh yeah. So we're dealing with a little problem. The hose that was up on the boat, I didn't think had pressure, so I went to hand it down to Aaron and change the nozzle. And, got a little water that rolled off the back of the boat, so we're in touch right now with Coppercoat to find out what we're going to do here.
yani çok az
See, it
gelmiş.
just has to dry. Tick up and
I hope so. My bad.
All the way down to the keel.
Yes, I see it.
Lucky for us, it was a soft lesson, and we were able to recover fairly easy.
Şerefe.
Sheriff?
Şerefe?
Şerefe.
Şerefe.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, let's do that. That's funny. Definitely. Where are you going so close for?
6 coats later, copper coat's complete.
Hey, you said you were taking a video of me.
Spring has now turned into summer, and we're excited to have all the major jobs completed. Now it's down to the finishing touches, props, and detail. And we're in the middle of installing some Peller Clean primer, which is a silicone anti-foul. And we're going to put as many coats on as we can. I wet sand the bottom of the boat by hand. So I know it's tough to see, but the little white spots right now, those are actually exposed copper. We talked to the copper coat rep. They said if we could get about 50 or 60% of this to be exposed, that it would do the job. There's 6 coats here, so we'll be able to, with time, be able to re-sand it down. We were still a little concerned about the orange peel texture, so we called Jason at Copper Coat, and he confirmed we're good to go. So we've got that done. Rudders are back up into position. Need to sand the bottom of them down. They're going to complete the detail today. A big shout out to Jason at Copper Coat UK. He took all our calls and gave us solutions in real time. Thanks, man. I wanted to get a picture.
It is. You got everybody in it.
I should have known by the tone of his voice.
Okay. Got it. All right. İyi akşamlar.
Akşamlar. See you later tomorrow.
With everything done, we grab a couple beers and reflect on our project.
And
Hey.
Emily, it's a wrap.
It's just crazy how things here have changed. When we first arrived here in March, this parking lot was wall-to-wall boats. 3 months later, Sea Odyssey is one of the last to leave. It's just so beautiful here in Antalya, but we came here for work and now it's done. Time for us to go. We are excited and can't wait to see if all that hard work paid off. There's Hanafi. Hello, Hanafi. Thank you. We're getting fuel. Testing through a Durham. 407 gallons. Liters. It's about 100 gallons. That's going to run us about 7.5 Turkish lira a liter. It's going to be about $280 for a fill up. Not bad for a year and a half of sailing. Costco card. I get a 4% cash rebate. Works anywhere in the world. I really suggest this card. And it's not a paid for endorsement. It's actually real.
It's been a long winter, and we are so ready to get back on the water.
All right. You ready to go have an adventure?
Yeah, let's figure out what we do with the dinghy, figure out where we're going.
All righty.
Yeah, we're in the water.
Now that we're back in the water, it's great to finally do what we do best. Float. And we finally get to sit back and enjoy 4 different bands at the same time.
Sea Odyssey is making way. Yep. Sails are up for the first time. We are
Doing something.
With a new bottom on and a full main up, things have really sped up for us. We're making about 8.5 knots in 21 true. This is a big, big improvement.
9 months later.
To all those skeptics out there looking at all that orange peel finish with the side eye, we get it. We were there. But we're all good. We will have to see as we move through other regions, but we aren't worried. There's plenty of room to grow here. It'll all work out. Once again, the lift is calling our name, and we are so ready to go.